you very much. Please welcome. That is your IGR officer. Okay. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful outing, cultural displays. Hello. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, some of the participants, after going around the state capital, have indicated interest to relocate to Ebonyi. It is on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honor and privilege to invite a man who in the classroom of Southeast governors is the senior prefect. Ladies and gentlemen, Executive Governor of Ebonyi State of Nigeria, Engineer Dr. David Wezeumai.
There shall be showers of blessings. This is the promise of God. There shall be seasons in blessing. Sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessings. Showers of blessings we need. Blessings from us are falling. Therefore the showers we need. Once more, showers of blessings. Showers of blessings we need. Blessings from us are falling. Therefore the showers we need.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, you may be seated. Your Excellency, my dear wife, I won't run through the protocol again. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Right Honorable Speaker, and the wife and the Deputy Speaker, our National Vice Chairman, Party Chairman, let me stand on protocol in place to ask you to join me to welcome our very important guests led by the President of Nigeria Political Science, the Scientist or Science Association, Professor Ibrahim. You're welcome to Ebonyi State. Why do we find it difficult to put this your two hands together when you're still alive? It's better. It's better. I want to welcome you, Professor Ibrahim, and all your colleagues to our state, the salt of the nation. Your annual meeting in Ebonyi State is a mark of honor and respect to our people, and that's why when our Vice Chancellor called me, that was about 2 days back, and said, "You are having this program here." I didn't know what to do because I was already billed to be in Abuja to be inaugurated by Mr. President as a member of the Nation Food Security Council. And I was yesterday. And moreover, I'm the chairman sub-technical in resolving the crisis between the herdsmen and the farmers, and we were also to submit our report yesterday. But what I did, because of the importance I attached to this visit, a lot of our professors are here, a lot of our leaders are here. My leader in the party, Professor Akali, is also here. There's also one very important man that is here, but if I see him, I will not know him, but I was told that he's here. That's the Southeast Federal Commissioner. I don't know, I have not met him. So just to let you know, sir, I was told you are here. Wherever you are, we welcome you and we thank you for coming, but we believe that you owe us a courtesy call in Ebbc State. You can't supervise people you do not know. So you have to come and pay a courtesy call on us. Here we don't have problems. You will have it very easy here in Ebbc State. Of course, if you go around or you ask questions, you know that we are not two. Now only one party, now in Ebbc State. No, so thank you. Political science. I'm an engineer, so it's difficult to define, politics and science. But my mind takes me to some of our countries that are ruled by the monarchs, like in Morocco. And then you compare such countries, the stability of their government, with our own that we call democracy, and that's where the politics and science, they meet. And so I believe that in the course of this conference, we should be looking at how to evolve a political system that is adaptable to our own culture. This is very important. That is why it is politics and science. I know science is all about inventions. Because somebody was, I was with speaker, so when I landed, what interests me so much is to look at the projects. What interests me so much is to see people that are lifted from poverty level. So, but something came to my mind. What came to my mind is that in our country, Nigeria, everybody is not a thief. Every leader is not a thief. But the classification is the same. And so you see some genuine leaders who have the fear of God, who are very passionate about lifting their people from poverty level. You still see some very funny people in social media. They still talk negatively about the person and about everything. I recall in the Bible I read when Job was saying, where is God that I may prove that I'm right? Then God said to Job, tie your loins like a man that you may answer me. He said, Job, you taking counsel without knowledge. So in politics, we have a lot of people that taking counsel without knowledge. The moment election is finished, when I was a deputy governor, every greeting was 2015, 2015, as if it was not going to come and pass. Nobody talks about the promises of politicians. Nobody talks about how to lift our people from the poverty level. Nobody's interested. And the moment 2015 came and God won the battle for us, what you started hearing from day one was 2019. So it's very devastating, and all these things are distractions. And that's why it's very important that I challenge you, sirs, to evolve the politics that is an invention of science, which is attached to political science, that can match, our own cultural bringings and the status of our minds. This is very important. And I believe strongly that leadership, the gift of leadership is not by the fear of ICPC, it's not by the fear of EFCC, it's not by the fear of the courts, it is only by the fear of God. It's only by the fear of God. As a governor, I've had the experience that you can mortgage the state for the next 100 years, righteously. Nobody will know, but we do it, and it's only God that knows what you have done. So for those that have, that lead the affairs of men, they must do it with the fear of God. The difference in leadership is all about the fear of God. It's all about the love for your wife, for your children. There's something that happened. We're trying to do a ring road, which is 199 kilometers. And we are getting our fund from the African Development Bank. It was already designed on asphalt. When we came on board, we took off 20 kilometers of that 199, which is remaining about 2 kilometers to completion. And so I said to the African Development Bank, I said, I've had the experience about the durability of asphalt road in the entire Southeast. And that's why in Ebbc State, 90% of our road construction is done on 8 inches concrete pavement. Yes. You can guarantee that it will last between 50 to 70 years. No controversy. And so I said to them, I want us to redesign this asphalt using concrete pavement. They said no, they resisted it. I said, you know what? By the time this loan matures and pay, that road will no longer be there. And so people will see my children and say, your father was a thief. He took the money and put it in his pocket, even though the money will not come to the state. And so I said to them, that is better this road is not done for the sake of my children, for the sake of my conscience, than that it is done and then within 2-3 years it is gone. So leadership is about conscience, it's about the fear of God. And I believe strongly that we still have a lot of leaders in this country. We still have leaders, not necessarily that you are in a position. A lot of you seated here are leaders, and if you want to sustain your legacies, if you want your family to do well, if you want the future of your children, you have to secure the future of other children. This is very important, and that's why politicians have not learned anything. If former presidents are still looking for money who had oil blocks, then you have to learn from that. That there is no amount of money stolen that is ever enough. So I want to thank you so much, because you are the professors of leaders in this country. And so I still challenge you tonight to give us the kind of administration, the kind of leadership program that will suit, our situation. Our situation is that graduates prefer to be counselors. A lot of people send text messages to us and say, but we voted for you, you have not remembered us. Say, can I stop the road passing through your community? They say no. But in Ebbc State, we have a total of 4 billion for our youths and women. And all you need to do is to come up with a proposal that not more than 20 million. And so you will get that fund, which we are in partnership with Bank of Industry, at 5% for a period of 5 years. And you have that in place, and you still see people saying you have not remembered me. And you now ask yourself, how else will you remember everybody if it's not this kind of program? We also have another 4 billion for our civil servants, because there is no amount of salary that can actually meet the needs of our civil servants. So we now believe that if we engage our civil servants in agricultural program, you can be in processing, so that every Friday you'll be free to go to work. After all, what are we working without funds? So that they will be able to make extra money and then induce happiness in their lives. These are the kind of leadership we are talking about. And I employ our people, our very young ones, to look beyond politics. A day will come in this country where politics will no longer be fashionable. And I'm praying that that day will come. We are talking about restructuring, meaning that we could have some super states, and the states that have not taken their destinies in their hands, it will become a problem for them. And that's why, like John the Baptist in this state, we came in the name of our God to prepare the way, so that when the come becomes, we shall be on our cruising journey. So again, I want to thank you very highly, and I want to book for the next year. We want to have a repeat of this journey. And if you give us extra one day, then we can take you through, our state. What I was telling you, I didn't tell that some people are even offended by the number of lights in Ebbc state. They say, why should we have this kind of light? Some people are hungry. It was cried and said there will always be poor among us. When you go to Dubai, you will still see people that are hungry, that are poor. But no meaningful investor will come to your state if they cannot evaluate your infrastructural development. So I want to thank you, and I want to apologize. We have not hosted the way we do host our visitors. But I have discussed with Professor Obu. At least we should be able to pay the fuel cost of all the people that came by road. Those that came by flight are big men. So they are already on top. So they are meager sum of 10 million we will give to assist. Thank you much, and God bless you. Thank you.
Showers and blessings we need. Blessings drop round us are falling, and from the showers we plead. Oh yes, showers and blessings. Showers of blessings we need. Blessings drop round us are falling.
Engineer Dr. David Mweze Umahe, as he addressed the professors of political sciences. It is still the gala night in honor of the participants of the 31st Nigerian Political Science Association Annual National Conference, holding at Banquet Hall, Governor's Lodge, Abakaliki today, Tuesday the 27th day of March 2018. Shortly after this, we will be rounding it off today, and we'll be calling it a day, as His Excellency has just finished addressing the people.
Ebonyi amaka, akwụzigbo obodo ọma. Ebonyi amaka, anyị enwego obodo ọzọ. Ebonyi amaka, obodo Chukwu nyere anyị. Ebonyi steeti amaka, anyị enwego obodo ọzọ. Ebonyi amaka, ezigbo obodo ọma. Ebonyi amaka, anyị enwego obodo ọzọ.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Ebonyi State, esteemed Engineer Dave Umahi, Her Excellency, the wife of the Governor, and our amiable mother, Mrs. Rachel Umahi, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State, Barrister Dr. Kelechi Igwe, the Honorable Speaker, Ebonyi State House of Assembly, the Chairman of PDP in the state, members of the State Executive Council, the Vice Chancellor of this great university, Ebonyi State University, Professor Chigozie, the other members of government, principal officers of government here this night, members of the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Political Science Association, led by my able self, the Vice President, Professor Hassan Saliu, the Secretary General of NPSA, Dr. Yahaya Adadu, Assistant Secretary, Dr. John Thwa, Treasurer, Dr. Mrs. Linda Kwandung, Director of Research, Professor Michael Aloysius Okolie, Professor Jaja Nwanego, Auditor, Professor OBC Nwoliesi, alias the Oracle, and Professor Sulekano, who was to make it, but for the fact that the wife had some health challenge and predicaments, wouldn't be with us. I want to, on behalf of the Nigerian Political Science Association, acknowledge the role played so far by the governor of this state, our very amiable and distinguished statesman. I wish to say that by the powers conferred on me, I've not discussed with my members and ESCO, I think you don't ask of engineering better than political engineering. The governor is an engineer. He's saddled with the art and craft of authoritative allocation of scarce resources. And what he is doing so far constitutes what we call political engineering. So if you are looking for a definition of a political scientist, I think in all manners, the governor gives an apt definition and recognition of what a political scientist is. The last time I came here, I discussed with the Vice Chancellor, His Excellency Professor Chigozie, and I did mention that he had become a fellow of the Political Science Association. And I think the governor has also, by his deeds, actions, and whatever he has done, become a fellow of the Nigerian Political Science Association. And he is so recognized. I want to specially thank the governor very, very meritoriously. I was here on the 5th of February to do an on-the-spot assessment and verification of the state of preparedness of hosting this conference. Ebonyi State must be very, very lucky, because this conference was destined for University of Ilorin, and I think one way or the other, destiny and God's intervention brought us to Ebonyi, and we are here today. I want to also acknowledge the fact that since we came here, it has been very, very clear that a lot has happened. I was discussing with the governor that my greatest pillar of support in the office is Mr. Kelechi of him, who actually is an indigene of Ebonyi State, and that has no bearing on our coming here anyway. But the point is that I found him very industrious, very articulate, and very scientific in his thinking. And he has been a very strong pillar of support to all of us. The challenges that have been taken so far by your government are quite very much of very serious consequences to developmental aspects and projects of Nigeria. The Nigerian project. The last time we came before now, I was able to go through and traverse a lot of streets. And I was telling those here, I said, virtually every street is tarred. It's tarred. It's clean. The state epitomizes and radiates sanity. Sanity in both the environment and the ecological factors. And I think you need a sound mind, aided by a sound, home, to be able to actually give, in terms of what I call the productivity and the values of what we have seen. Ebonyi State remains a very close home of mine. My romance with Ebonyi will not stop at this. I shall continue very clearly, even when I have relinquished my position as president. I'm still on the executive, so I still have a lot of romance with Ebonyi State. I want to thank the governor and his team for the good work they are doing. The Nigerian project as epitomized in a very micro form by Ebbc State. And I think that what makes us who we are is not that we shall not have challenges. The greatest challenge in life is not in never failing, but in rising each time we fall. And I think the Nigerian project and the Nigerian polity will surmount all obstacles of security, of economic doldrums, and of all what you call a welfare risk package for her citizenry. Your Excellency, you are not here this morning, but you are ably and aptly represented by your deputy. And I did, in my State of the Nation address, which shall be published in one or two of the national dailies, we mentioned a myriad of the problems that actually befall our nation, starting from the herdsmen versus farmers, security challenges, infrastructural, both stomach and otherwise, and many, many other things. And we thought that by the time these packages are sent, good enough as a political engineer now, you find it very, very, in fact, fruitful, because it helps for you to look at what we have talked about alongside the challenges that actually bedevil our country. I want to thank you very much and thank all the members of the State Executive Council for your magnanimity in hosting us, for your doggedness of saying you are not with us in the morning, but you will give us a state-of-the-art dinner. And I think not only have you done that, you have gone ahead to crown it all again by saying you will be able to, and you are paying the logistics of our coming here. I thank you so much on behalf of Ebbc. Finally, Your Excellency, I want to put it on record that this administration came into being in the year June 2015, and in less than 2.5 years we have turned around a lot. We have a collection of books that have been published, which the Director of Research and Publication, Professor Golier, will package and give some donation to Ebonyi State University Library. Some you will find we are packaging some for you and your own library. And we want to think that what we have said there are not things that are not contemporary. There are issues of contemporary nature, and as such, we will find them very, very interesting based on the current challenges we have, be they economic, social, political, cultural, and otherwise. I think we as Nigerians should bask in the euphoria that we do not choose our beginnings. We shall not choose our end either. The Almighty God is the only one that chooses our beginning, and He chooses our end. I thank you very much, Mr. Doctor.
Thank you very much. Please, let's give Prof a better round of applause. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, after the national anthem, His Excellency will have a group photograph with our dear visitors. National Anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellencies with the members of the association, executive members of the association.
Most cherished listener and viewer, This is where we come to the end of the transmission today. The gala night in honor of the participant of the 31st Nigerian Political Science Association annual national conference program that holds at Banquet Hall Governors Lodge, Abakaliki, today, Tuesday, 27th of March 2018. On behalf of the outside broadcast crew, Director General Ebony Broadcasting Corporation Ebbc Engineer Timothy Mwachi led the crew. Bene Edwin Onwe is in charge of the television unit. Chukuma Onwe is in charge of the radio unit. Onyekozu Oji is also in charge of the programs television. Ndobisi Ogodo Sunday Ndokwe are all the engineers we have here. Ifoma Eze and Adano Kore are operating the airbox. At the studio base we have Chimakalo Oji and Ihe Nacho Oji, as well as Charity Mwoke, who are all in charge of whatever that is going on from the studio base. Then we have Johnson Aji, Uche Obonna, Osandu Unguta, and Uche Michael Eze as our cameramen. My colleague has been Laura Amanzi, and I am Chukudi Mweke. Let's just go back to our station 96 in Kaliki Road, Abakaliki. We thank you for being part of the transmission. Let's meet again at the station. God bless you.
If